Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Back 9 coverage of the final round of the 2019 CCR Open, presented by Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here again by Chanimal Fry himself. How's it going, Chandler?
It's going pretty good. We got quite a battle brewing on this lead card for the final 9.
Oh yeah, we have a definite ball game. Garrett Gurthie after a phenomenal front 9, 3 eagles, which we really don't see that often. Catching up
10
on
down from the front 9, yeah.
Incredible. And he's catching up on Paul McBeth. They are 1 stroke apart. Tim Barham and Sam Mrdeza are also having a solid front 9, but they're kind of getting dwarfed by the performances of the 2 leaders.
Kind of a battle for 3rd and 4th right now,
exactly.
That's for sure.
And we have a few people at the bottom of the leaderboard that are also making some moves. So
absolutely.
We move into hole number 10, a 462-foot par 3 with some OB on the right side. And it looks like we also had a tailwind today. So what are we going to be seeing these players do?
It's a lot of big hyzers down the road. The main thing to avoid are the trees on the right side. And then if you throw a little short, you got a tree in the middle of the fairway.
Yep. And the hyzers that these players are going to have to throw, they can't hyzer out right away. They have to be kind of subtle hyzers. As you can see, Garrett's trying to push his up a little bit. It's trying to flip up to flat.
That's looking fine.
And that's a fantastic shot.
This hole actually playing pretty difficult. It's averaging .16 above par with only 20% of the field birdieing it.
And note how this hyzer popped up to flat a little bit. He has to push it forward down the road before it starts hyzering. And that's how you get that extra 50 feet of distance to put it in the circle.
Putting the pressure on Paul there.
Oh, yeah. That was a huge drive from Garrett.
Paul's looking to match that throw and put it right in the circle. And he's throwing that Zeus.
Yep, he's going to be trying to throw some sort of baby hyzer flip. Too much.
Oh, no.
And there's potential 2-stroke swing. Yeah. That was a tough break for Paul. He flipped that up just a bit too much.
Looks like he didn't read the wind correctly there. He's throwing some grass after that throw.
And Tim, he's also throwing a flippy distance driver. He's going to try to make that same correction.
After watching Paul do that, it's kind of scary to throw after that. You're not sure what your disc is going to do, but it looks like he corrects right down that road.
Oh, yeah. A little bit more inside. Doesn't even take the OB path into play, but 35. It's a 462-foot hyzer. There's not many players that have a pure hyzer that goes that far.
And Tim knows he has a great circle 2 putt, so he's going to rely on that and hopefully convert. Sam's got some distance. He's going for the big hyzer. Ooh, gets a little close to that tree right there.
Close, but he still gets it up to flat, and it's going to probably be right there on the outside of the circle.
Stops before getting into the marsh back there. So
that's a great shot.
It's fine. Paul throwing from 3, from about probably like 130 feet in front of the tee pad.
Gets his zone up to flat.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a thing of beauty.
Not going to be happy with the outcome of this hole, though.
Oh, definitely not. Especially seeing, how close Garrett's drive was and really how competent it looked coming out of his hand.
We might be seeing probably the first lead change of the last 2 rounds.
Oh, yeah.
On this hole.
Oh, like you said.
Smooth.
He's got that really smooth spin putt that he likes to throw, and he doesn't even need to step these putts from 50 feet. He has one of the best circle 2 putts I've ever seen.
And the crowd loving it, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun to feed off the crowd when you're on these lead cards. Oh. Sam a little low. Be taking a 3 on this hole. Garrett really close.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And he is, as some would say, on fuego right now.
Caliente.
He is throwing fantastic shots. Paul, at this point, starting to look like he's trying to play catch-up.
Yeah, now 1 stroke behind Garrett.
Definite momentum shift that we've seen just even in the past few holes. Sam's going to tap in that par.
Moving on to hole 11.
And this is a really interesting par 5. I would say that the toughest real par 5 in the course.
Yeah.
901 feet. And the placement is very specific off the tee if you want the eagle look. And I know players on this card are going to be wanting that. OB on the left, OB on the right. And the tee shot itself starts out uphill. So it's a very unique, either a hyzer flip straight or a big wide hyzer like Garrett's going to be doing here. I think we did have a wind that set up for that.
You can't see the fairway from the tee pad, so you're kind of trusting your instincts to put the disc where you want it to go.
And I think that instinct is pretty good if he stays away from that tree.
You think Garrett's looking for another eagle?
I absolutely think he is. Oof. At this point, he's throwing so well that he shouldn't be worried about any danger here.
Yeah. I found the OB long right, which I didn't really know existed.
Yeah, and that's the thing what happens when you try throwing that middle flex, and I think the hyzer wide is just the safest way of putting it in play.
Yep.
And I think Tim's here trying to play up for a birdie 4 here. Sam is going to go for that aggressive flex up the middle.
Hopefully he has a disc that's stable enough to come back. Looks like he does.
And he's throwing it so smooth.
He's got a very smooth form.
Very smooth throw.
Really impressed with his game. That's perfect.
And that's right where you want to be.
Yep. And we have Paul.
And Paul definitely wants an eagle on this.
Assuming he's throwing, no, he's going hyzer. No, he's going Zeus. What's he doing?
He's gonna, looks like he's lining up a hyzer with a Zeus.
Okay. First round he went vulture. Didn't work out so well, so it looks like he changed up his game plan, and I think it's going to work out for him. Yeah, he's right about a little behind where Gurthie is.
And I think Tim is going to go with another thumber.
Love it. I love being surprised by top players.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't. The thumber was not even a throw I thought Tim had, and he's been throwing him really, really nicely. And I think he put that right in the middle of the lane, and he should have an up and down for a birdie 4.
It's like Paul's a little pinched behind that little tree, going spike hyzer, kind of just trying to find that fairway up there to get that birdie. Not really going for an eagle. Not able to go for the eagle, actually.
And that's the thing. I think Garrett really wants it.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Oh.
Thank God he had that chin strap on his hat. He threw himself out of his shoes there. Disc lands in play, but a little bit underneath those trees.
That's such a perfect drive from Sam.
Yeah.
Puts a little right, though. Kind of tracking towards OB, it looks like. Past the long grass to the right, there is OB that you can find. It's hard to find it, but it's there.
Tim trying to get up and down for his birdie.
Wants that to pop up a little bit.
That was a smooth forehand.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. 25-footer to the basket.
He's going to be happy with that. Look at that crowd. That's a good-sized crowd.
Oh, yeah. Paul from a little bit of an obstructed lie. Not too bad. Going zone, I believe.
Nice touch, nice control. He has about a 25-foot putt for birdie. Garrett looking to be in the long grass. Interesting angle. I like that.
That's going to sit down.
It's looking like Garrett's going to continue his hot streak.
He just looks so in control right now. Even from that patent pending stance, his wrist is just so dialed in right now.
Sam catching some leaves, but still looking pretty good. Should be circle's edge. I'm not going to lie. When I play with Garrett, I kind of fanboy a little bit because he's just so fun to watch. Oh, so close.
And on a course like this, with aggressive lines being rewarded so heavily, it's no mistake that him and Paul are the players in the lead.
For sure.
Paul cashes in that birdie 4, and to have the entire card having a look for a birdie on this hole is no joke. It's very challenging placement on this hole.
Absolutely. And actually averaging above par at 5.16 with 35% of the field birding it and the rest par or worse.
Yeah, which is a great scoring spread.
Absolutely. Very scoreable conditions today. Tim taking some time on this putt. There might have been a car behind the basket or...
Ooh, a little high. But after going safe hyzer, thumber, and another safe forehand, Tim takes a very smart tactical birdie on this hole, which shows you that you don't need to be that aggressive to get a birdie on this, but you need to be mindful of where you put the disc.
Yeah. Solid birdie from Garrett there. I think Tim played the hole like it's supposed to be played.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right down the fairway. And Sam, is he putting for birdie or par? I can't remember.
I believe he's putting for a par.
Okay. So it could have been worse, but Sam's probably going to be happy with some of the positions he was in. He's probably happy. All right, I think on this hole, we're going to see a bunch of spike hyzers over the trees to the right. It's It's only 400 feet, so they're going to try to get to those rocks down there and not hit any trees and go out of bounds.
And what's interesting is these gaps in the trees that the drone is flying through, that's where you want an actual straight hyzer to fly through. Any hyzers that go around those trees are going to go 40 to 50 feet long. That's why you're going to see these players going spike hyzer.
Yeah.
You're able to access the green in a little bit more effective way here.
That's looking a little long. Oh, hit a tree, bounced down, rolled. Should have middle circle too. That's a scary putt though. It's
a
gonna be a real
putt.
Gauge on how he's feeling if he makes that.
Tim going spike hyzer as well. He's going a little bit flatter angle, but something very overstable. I'm not sure what he threw there, but there's a little tombstone for him.
Nice. He's gonna like that.
And Tim's showing off some of his distance that I'm definitely impressed.
He's got game. Paul's almost aced it the first 2 rounds. Let's see if he can correct and actually ace it this time.
I don't know if any of his drives have hit grass on this hole. I think they've hit
so.
gravel every single time. So he's pulling out that same exact disc.
That disc's probably got some chunks out of it from him hitting all those
Yeah.
rocks. He's got this shot dialed. Let's see if he can. Ooh. That's fine.
And there is another tombstone.
Got a graveyard going on over there.
Yeah, that's really the play. I mean, throwing that straight shot, and I believe it looks like Sam is going for it.
I like it. Nice and smooth.
And
a little high.
It's high, but as much as that looks like it's sawed off, that's the line you have to hit if you're going up the middle. Unfortunately caught those trees, but he still has a circle 2 putt.
We got Sam from 60 feet. What a putt. Let's go.
Oh, the crowd loves it.
Let's get that SloMez. Is
They love that local boy getting that putt from circle 2.
Oh, yeah. There we go. First time on Jomez, first ever SloMez for Sam.
And that is a really smooth-looking putt. He knew it was in the entire way.
Beautiful shot. He loves it.
And it feels good to put on a show for the local crowd as well.
Good job, Sam. And he's still actually having a pretty good round.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Garrett from about 35.
That's a tough putt.
Was his kind of first slip-up that I've seen.
Yeah. You can't expect to make every 40-foot putt, but with the way he's been putting, you definitely expect him to make that.
We have a tie ball game.
Woo! This will be fun.
2 players battling it out, playing fantastic golf. And Paul makes up for a couple mistakes early and is able to tie it up again. Tim checking the chains. He should be no problem from about 15.
A little high once again, but he's still dead center. These baskets tend to catch those soft high putts.
Most definitely. We have Garrett tapping in from about 10 feet.
Looks like he's in the long stuff.
Little obstructed,
Yeah.
though.
There we go. Good connection. So, yeah, he definitely wants a birdie on that hole, but he's happy to still be tied for the lead.
Yep, and, he's made one mistake, but I think, you look at him throwing off the tee, and I think the hyzers that he threw was nice and smooth. Moving into the next hole, hole number 13. This is another interesting placement-oriented par 4. We see a lot of different types of throws. Putter turnovers, we see driver flexes. You really just need to, get the disc out into the gap so you have an opportunity to throw it up shot for this basket. But I don't know if we're going to see any looks for 2, but I think Tim is going to play this one for a safe 3.
This is actually playing as one of the easier par 4s, averaging 0.4 below par at 3.96 with about 30% of the field birdieing it.
Yep, and Tim put it really right about where you want it.
That's a scary shot, too, because you got the OB on the right and the left, and the placement shot is right between those.
Mm-hmm.
It's only about like a 35-foot area.
And where Tim went with a driver sidearm, Paul's going putter to hopefully put it in the same spot.
Busting out that big Z Luna again that he's been throwing all over the place.
He's actually throwing it pretty hard. Like, he's actually trying to go farther than where Tim's at.
That looks a little right, though. Oh, man.
And I think he got some world champ love on that.
Flashing those rings once again.
Yep, and he's in a prime position.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the same thing as Tim. That's great.
Yep. And as you can see, it's really not, that daunting of a tee shot, but you still have to execute. And as you can see, there's 4 different ways to play it. We have Garrett go with his sonic and drifting it nicely.
It's nice. Oh, wow. Did that stay in? I think it did. It's nice to see Garrett stick to his game plan because he definitely has the power and the disc control to get to the green.
Oh, and he's one of the few people that I think has the shot for that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Sam has kicked a little bit early. He's about 37 feet away from the basket. Garrett going with a rock.
Looks like he gapped it perfectly.
And he's dialed.
Yeah, he's feeling good. I think second round he pushed it too far, and he definitely corrected this round. Tim throwing a buzz. Is that 10-year anniversary buzz?
Looks like a potential 10-year anniversary buzz. Really pretty.
It's a fancy disc.
A fancy disc. And
Beautiful
he's
shot.
thrown a fancy shot as well. He's just under the basket.
Fancy shot, fancy disc, fancy player.
And Paul's strategy is nice and simple. He throws the same disc 2 times in a row.
I think we just had a Ziggy Bear Coven sighting back there. You see that?
Ooh. Shout out to the Ziggy.
It's a little low. He's going to hope for some ground play.
Yep,
yeah,
no
fine.
problem. 15 from the basket. This is definitely a 3 you want to get. It feels like a bogey if you're taking a 4 here.
Come on, Sam. It's hard to commit to that shot with that OB on the left. It's kind of terrifying because if you skip off the basket, there's a good chance you're going to find yourself in the sand. There you go, Paul.
Good birdie from Paul. And he's trying to do anything he can to catch up and pull away from Garrett, who's still just as in the driver's seat as Paul is. So
And Paul's 11 down through 13, and he's still
having to work for the lead.
Yeah. Garrett and Paul are putting on a show right now. You can see Garrett's feeling happy.
Hole number 14 is a longer par 3, 363 feet. Subtle dogleg to the right. A few different shots you'll see. You'll see some big righty hyzers trying to get sneaky through that gap. You'll see a lot of subtle turnovers coming in from the righties, or you could even see a roller if the player's dialed with that as well.
It's averaging just below par, 0.18 below par, with 30% of the field birding it and 50% parring it. So not a lot of bogeys, but you can definitely find some trouble on it on the right side or the left shrub.
And Tim going with that subtle turnover that I was talking about. I think he's throwing an undertaker.
That looks... that's the tree to miss, but if you can make it through that tree, it's great. If you hit that tree, you still have a circle's edge putt.
I think Paul's throwing... Last time I saw he's throwing a vulture.
Yeah, that sparkle vulture. Wants to get some turn on that. Doesn't get it. He's going to find himself in some... Oh, nope. I lied.
And there's a little world champ love.
He was going to be deep in that foliage.
Deep in the foliage. Now he actually has a circle 2 putt of the basket. Garrett just completely negates the line that this hole was shaped up to have, and he just goes straight up hyzer bomb.
I'd be scared if I was Jonathan right there.
That's some veteran camera work for sure.
You probably feel the wind off that disc on that one.
That's huge.
There we go.
And as
15
tight
feet.
as tight as that gap looks, he's hit that every single time.
Yeah.
Every round.
I feel like Sam has the power to do that line, but he's going to go straight at the basket.
Looks like his turnover game has been really smooth this round, and that blue disc, whatever it is, holds that turn really nicely. He's thrown a super finesse shot there.
Yeah. Really high shot, brings the branches into play, but still works out, gets through everything, and has about a 20-foot putt. Paul with still a decent putt for how poor that shot was, but a little high.
And this was the point in the round the other day where he started to slip on the putting green. So interested to see where he goes from here.
A little right. This is definitely a hole you want. Garrett's going to get it. I'm calling it right now. He's going to make this putt. Boom.
Wow.
So.
And you were right. He cashed it again. And just looking at how under control he looks, I don't see him stopping. Sam misses a putt for a birdie. He'll take the par. Tim as well.
Garrett getting a stroke on all three of them.
Yeah, and I mean, for righties, this is not the easiest hole, and I think Garrett, with how much power he has, makes the hole as easy as possible. And just throwing it as high as he can and giving himself an opportunity for a putt.
Moving on to hole 15, what you want to do is just throw right down the middle of the fairway. Avoid those trees on the right and left. We have OB bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. get in the middle, second shot, throw a little hyzer to the basket, make the putt, birdie.
Yep, and really it's throw as far as you can, as straight as you can.
Yeah.
If you do get too far left, you're going to get yourself into trouble. You're going to get into those thorns and whatnot. So Garrett actually tries to go big flex to the right to stay away from that. Oh, yeah. But he's also looking to stay away from a rough lie.
Yeah.
And he has found it. If he gets lucky, he has an opportunity, but he's way down there.
There's definitely gaps in there, but he could find a pretty hard spot. Tim probably going for placement down the middle. Doesn't want to hit the bunkers on the left. He's kind of tracking towards, no, I'm lying again.
Well, I think that's why the mid-range play is really nice in this hole, because you throw it straight and you also don't challenge those OB bunkers.
Yeah.
And it's the difference between a mid-range approach to the green and a driver approach. So he's again playing the tactical method here. And Paul is not going tactical. Paul is going as far as he can.
He's looking to go big on this one. He wants that easy birdie. Get that turn.
And that is smoked.
Yep. That's the Zeus.
That is a big Zeus shot.
Beautiful shot. Almost got the spotter right there.
And he's going to be about 100 feet away from the basket. Sam looks like he's pulling out a driver.
He's probably looking to match Paul and Garrett's shot. He has the distance, and he's looking to get a birdie. Get this round and get back on track. Going big flex. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, him.
Still a great shot, but he probably didn't want to hit that tree, I'm guessing.
I'm guessing. No, and the thing is, though, when you throw the driver off the tee, if you're in front of the OB bunkers, you have absolutely a shot at the basket for a birdie.
This looks to be a little right, but it's pretty overstable. Yep, catches a little branch on the right side, but works out.
Should be about 34 feet away from the basket. And Sam, kind of a tough lie.
Having to get kind of low with his shot.
And he kind of sawed it off.
Through. With the way he's been putting, though, he's missed a few, but he's been making some big ones, so we'll see if he can connect on this one. Paul with a tricky shot. I think we saw this shot in round 1 or 2 where he threw a big spike hyzer as an upshot.
It doesn't look like he really has a choice.
This is kind of a scary shot because if you put it a little right, it's going to hit those trees and fall right. And if you put it long, it's going to be in the long grass.
That looks pretty good.
Trying to play Plinko again. Oh, connects early. And he has about a 40-foot putt.
Not as close as he'd like to be, obviously. But from where he was at, it's tough to even gauge the line from there.
Yeah.
Only other thing he could potentially have done was a flick turnover. But Garrett, after smashing his drive, did get a little lucky and didn't get himself into the thick stuff and has a no-problem approach.
Sam with about a 50-footer. Oh, that might have been in if that branch wasn't there.
Might have been in, and would have been a really nice birdie to get from where he was at.
Great attempt from Sam.
About 40 feet here.
Oh, no.
Man.
He needed that.
And he saw Garrett get so close, he needed to make that putt.
So Garrett's going to extend his lead to 2 strokes on this hole.
Tim from Circle's Edge.
That's such a smooth putt.
Such a good putt with that challenger that he's putting with.
I love watching Tim play.
One of my favorite spin putters to watch.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's throwing it into the basket. He's not popping it whatsoever. He's just
so consistent.
Super smooth with it. And Garrett with a very stress-free birdie after getting a fortunate lie after that drive.
Is Garrett 15 for 15 right now?
Garrett is, I believe, 15 for 15 with those 3 eagles. Not too shabby.
That's pretty good. He's looking to get that 18 down.
And he's only in the lead by 2. They are both working hard at the top of this leaderboard, and this is a birdie they need to get. It's a short hole. It's 338 feet, dead straight. This one tree in the very middle is the only one that's a real problem.
Yeah.
You want to hyzer flip and go dead straight just to the right of that, and you should be fine. But this is one that these players are gunning for sure.
We're going to see some solid buzz and rock shots here, I'm sure. Garrett showing his finesse and throwing that rock down the middle. Should have about a 20-foot putt. 15-foot putt.
And he continues to throw fantastic shots here. Tim going with I believe it's a Barham Buzz SS.
There we go.
Pick one up today.
Missed that tree. Second round, he hit that tree, so he looked to avoid that, and he did. About a 20-foot putt.
And that's fantastic. That's a great shot.
One of the easier holes on the course. It's averaging just below par, 0.35 below par, actually.
Paul's going with a buzz as well.
He's going straight hyzer, miss it. Yeah, that's great as well.
Mm-hmm.
CTP so far. Nice little grouping there.
Yeah, and I mean, as much as we're talking about this hole being an easy birdie, it's really not. You still have to throw a frozen rope 300 feet.
Well, half the field birdied it, though.
Yeah.
Little high. He's looking to get that a little lower off the tee. Fading left. Has about circle's edge putt. You want to be a little closer on this one, though.
Definitely. And yeah, Sam's been leaving himself with a lot of circle's edge putts.
There we go.
And he capitalizes.
Solid. He's making some highlights.
Oh yeah, and the Michigan fans love him, and it's so cool to see local talent that's more under the radar show up on these cards.
Good birdie from Tim. He's putting together a really good round after a slow start.
Yeah, it looks like all eyes are on Garrett and Paul, but Tim is right up there with them.
Garrett looking to tap this in. 16 for 16.
I'm rather impressed.
I'm not. No, I'm just kidding. I am. There you go, Paul.
And that was a great StarFrame. $25 again donated to Eagles Wings Disc Golf. Shouts out to Jomez.
I'm going to break the bank.
They're going to break the bank here, folks. And then this is one we need to get. This is every single player needs to get. This is the easiest hole in the course, the shortest hole in the course, 168 feet. It's an island, but missing the island only gives you a hazard play. Play it where it lies. And
plus a penalty stroke.
Plus a stroke penalty. But this is a no-brainer. These players almost want to be running the ace off this hole with how short it is.
If you care to know, I made the island in the last round. Garrett throwing the Sonic.
Oh, no.
Misses the island. He'll be putting for 3 from about 25, 30 feet, maybe obstructed.
Whoa. That was not expected.
That is not what you want to do when you're 16 down.
Potentially felt a little bit of nerves there. Tim
He's on a Raptor or something.
Spike forehand with the driver.
Works out nicely for him. Makes the island. Paul sees an opportunity here. He wants to park this hole, get that birdie, force Garrett to make that putt, and tie the game.
Floats it a little bit.
That's gliding to the right.
Are you...
Did he go through the opening right there in the wall?
Yeah.
That was...
You're right there, though. You're on the closer side.
I did not expect that from either of those players. They both were throwing so well, but I think they both kind of had the nerves hit them. And
I think people might take this hole for granted.
They definitely do, and I think when you have a lot on the line, I think it's way tougher to execute, but...
And great shot from Sam there.
Oh, yeah.
Garrett wants to make this. His perfect round is over unless he aces the last hole, but... Oh, no, that branch.
And being in the lead, you really don't want to four this hole. This pretty much takes 2 strokes away from you here.
So Paul can still get a stroke on Garrett if he makes this putt. And only be a 1-stroke game. Big putt, big moment.
Oh, man.
Dang.
No damage done.
Garrett gets lucky on that.
Yeah, definitely gets lucky, and Tim actually has an opportunity to take 2 strokes and move himself into range.
Look at the back 9 that Tim's having. Pretty good.
Yeah, he's been quietly just shredding it.
This hole averaging almost half a stroke under par. With half the field birdieing it.
This should be a no-brainer, and clearly not.
Yeah, well, 20% of the field bogeyed it, so it definitely has some teeth. Honestly, I'm sure Garrett's not that upset right now because he knows he didn't lose anything.
Exactly. There's no damage done. I bet he had a huge sigh of relief after seeing Paul miss it.
Yeah. Paul, though, is definitely unhappy with that. That's unfortunate.
After a strange scoring spread in that last hole, we move into the final hole, and this is probably the toughest par 3 of the course, especially for right-handed players. You have to pop over that tree line. It's a blind shot to this beautifully built-up green, but it's 390 feet, and you have to throw kind of a late drift with either a mid-range or a flex forehand, and we're going to see some really aggressive shots here.
Yeah, Tim playing for the 3 and just throwing a flex forehand out there and giving himself like a 200-foot upshot. I was trying to land in the water so I can cool down. Oh, he threw a thumber. Was that a thumber? I'm not sure what just happened.
No, he went big thumber here.
Okay,
and
so changed it up a little bit.
Safe play. He's going to be about 100 feet from the basket, but he's had a fantastic round, and I think he's ready to finish with the par.
Tim's going big spike hyzer. So I feel like that's a pretty solid 3 play. He's definitely not going for the green.
Nope, he's playing safe, and he's going to have, again, just a very
Crowd
simple putter shot to the basket.
How many greens have a waterfall?
Not many. This is the first one that I've seen.
Like, maybe some have a natural waterfall, but this is probably the first, like, man-made waterfall.
Yeah.
Green.
Garrett goes rock 3.
It's looking to be tracking a little right into, yeah.
And that's
right.
the tough part about this turnover shot is you can't have it turning the entire way. It has to turn late in its flight.
This whole averaging right around par, but only 10% of the field birdieing it, so there's just a lot of pars. A lot of people playing for an easy par just to finish the round and get out of there.
And this is big for Paul.
Yeah.
He's going a little bit more subtle of a shot. That could flatten, go straight towards the pin. No, that was a buzz.
Okay.
But it looks like it's stalling out, and he does not have a good look for a birdie.
Didn't give it a chance.
And at this point, as long as Garrett can pitch out and get up and down, he has secured his victory, but you never know where he's at. This stuff is really thick.
Oh, man. He's just deep in that poison ivy.
And a great shot from Garrett. He should have 10, 15 footer to the basket. And Tim from about, 200 feet?
Maybe like 150.
Maybe less.
Yeah.
Oh, my. What?
Elevated basket, dead center. Let's get that
A lot less than 200, but still an 80, 90-foot putt to finish your tournament.
That's one of those putts that the second you throw it, you're just like, that was perfect.
And he cannot believe it. He is pumped. That was a phenomenal showing from Tim. And
there we go, Tim. Good finish.
Him being kind of a Michigan staple in the disc golf world, it's great to see him get the crowd going like that. Tim's a great guy.
Great finish, great 3rd place. Good job. Sam looking to get up there. That should be a pretty easy 3.
Yep. And Paul needs to run this. Oh, and he absolutely is. Get it.
Oh, a little high. It's a tough comebacker, too.
Paul needed that. He knew he was playing for first place.
Yeah.
Anything other than that is nothing for him, so.
Good putt.
Great putt, but as long as Double G lays up and drops in, he should have no problem securing this.
Yeah,
what a battle.
Yeah, not what Paul was looking for, but a 2nd place in a pretty hard field is pretty good. But he's looking to win because he wins
every single time.
Good putt from Sam.
And, shout outs to Sam. He threw some really awesome lines and hit a couple giant putts this round, so kudos to him.
I think he still shot a 7 down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Garrett with the W.
What a battle. Garrett had to absolutely grind this round to make that victory happen, but he ended up winning by 2 strokes. And
shooting a 1065 rated, 15 down.
And let's, after that beautiful battle, let's take a look at some words that Double G has
I'm
to say.
here with the newly crowned MPO champion of the CCR Open, Garrett Gurthie. Garrett, congrats on just a hard-fought battle. I was looking at the stats. I'm thinking, I think you had, 3 eagles, maybe 4 pars and a bogey. Talk me through that round of just, having to, what did you start out the round with against Paul?
I was
2 strokes
down?
down?
I was 2 strokes back to Paul,
okay.
So I knew today I'd come out fighting because with any lead that Paul has, he usually likes to take off with it. So I knew on these par 5s that were coming up that I needed to take advantage of them because I knew if I didn't get them, he probably would. So I ended up getting 3 out of the 4 par 5s to shoot me 6 under for 3 holes. So that kind of gave me some motivation for the round to keep a good round pushing. And Paul pushed me so hard, man. He's one of the best competitors in the game, obviously. And without his expertise, maybe I wouldn't have gone this hard. So we appreciate Paul very much. And thanks for pushing me to the limits, dude.
Yeah,
You're amazing.
and then even towards the end, you kind of got a chance to pull away a little bit. And then we come up the hole 17 and just kind of the unexpected happens and didn't get the island.
Yeah, the unexpected happened, and with some miracle luck, Paul happened to throw his a little bit long past the basket. He wasn't expecting it, so like I said, it's all hole to hole.
Yeah.
You know, never give up. Always stay strong out there, no matter what the situation is. So that's what I did. Stuck to the game plan and managed to come out on top of fall. It feels really nice.
Yeah, I mean, you got you at 15 down, which I think unofficially so far is the course record here on Renegade's Trail. So congrats on that. Congrats on the NT win at Masters Cup, another big A tier here against really great competition. Hope to see more out of you, you know, just as the season progresses. So
I want to thank a few sponsors, if that's all right. I'd like to thank Thought Space Athletics with Finley. They're a new company. Check them out. I'd like to thank Circle One Productions, New World Sports Complex, Adidas Outdoor, Innova Champion Disc, Infinite Disc, New World Sports Complex, End Zone with Quick Stick, Levon Wolf. Everybody, if I'm missing someone, I appreciate every single one of you. So thanks, JomezPro.
All right, yeah, thanks for the great competition. Thanks to Discraft for making our coverage possible, and of course our patrons. So we'll see you at the next one.
Wow, that was a heated battle, and Garrett Gurthie happened to come out on top. Thank you so much for joining us for this final round coverage. Again, I'm Brian Earhart, and I'm joined by Chandler Fry. Make sure to like and subscribe to Jomez Productions, and we will catch you next time.
See you guys later.
Thanks again for joining us on this wacky roller coaster of a ride. Make sure to leave a comment down below to let us know what you think, and you will be automatically entered to win one of these beautiful JomezPro Grip6 belts. And we will catch you next time.
See you guys.